So you've been continuously very good enough in your academics, no? So how it felt like facing the first failure in competitive exams? What motivated you throughout this 7 years of journey? We have the person who is preparing for UPSC in front of us. So the question is the current affairs standards really up to the UPSC level in bank exams? Does choosing of a study companion really plays a vital role in your selection? You have been appearing for UPSC, SSC, TNPSC, all those exams. Could you rank exams from easier to tougher?
First, I would rank.
Is it okay to shift exam? So hello everyone, welcome to this special session. So Bank Exams 2023 season has been started. So let us begin this season with an inspiring interview. So myself, Levin from CA Funstar, and with me it's Jaswanth, who has cleared IBPS PO in the last year and placed in Canara Bank after 7 long years of aspirant journey. And I also appeared for UPSC exam and the regulatory body exams and SSC exams and also TNPSC exams, and why not other exams too. So first of all, I welcome Mr. Jaswanth for this wonderful interview. Thank you so much, Jaswanth.
Thank you, sir,
for joining here. Okay. So the first question I would like to ask you is, I heard you were the topper in your schools and colleges. So why it took 7 years to crack this competitive exams?
Well, it is a long journey. So into banking exam, I was preparing from last May. It's precisely around 8 months. But my preparation to competitive examination started with UPSC journey. So why it took 7 years is, I went to coaching, like I was into a corporate job, so I just quit it. So I went to coaching, and to know what UPSC needs, it took me around 2 years. So I didn't have a clarity. So I could say that I did not have a clear-cut ideology to follow, a clear idea or guide to follow it. And then within I could understand what is UPSC. I jumped off to TNPSC, then to RBI, NABARD, SEBI, and as you said, whatnot. So and finally I left to banking.
Okay.
So this is one reason of not having a clear ideology to how to follow and what the examination demands. So was one big thing.
Like, to you, the one personal question I would like to ask you, what are the lessons you have learned all those 7 years of aspirant journey?
So
biggest takeaways.
Yeah.
In other words, biggest takeaways
Yeah,
in 7 years.
So first one, there has been a great improvement in my personality. So to be honest, like once when I went out of college, so my attitude, my ideology towards something was knowing everything, know-it-all attitude. Because as you said, I was in the topper, so we always think that everything is in our hands, everything is under our control, and we could handle anything. But through the 7 years of life, so being an aspirant, going with the different areas of studies, meeting different kind of people, I've learned the world is a lot to learn. It is not just about studies, but I've learned a lot of different aspects of life. So it helps me to tackle my life in a very easy manner. Like it is not that sophisticated. Life is very simple to take away. And it also has helped me to cater the needs of the people, because we've handled, as an officer tomorrow, we are going to handle with the people. So you know how to interact with them, how to deal with them. So that is a biggest life lesson. And also we've learned that just exams is not a different thing, because in this 7 years, I've not just learned about the examinations and going on with the syllabus of it, but I've also inherited a lot of other skills. So I've learned what is gardening, I've learned what is yoga, but a little way. So a lot of other exercises I've done it. So it has given a holistic way.
One more personal question. So you've been continuously very good enough in your academics, no? So how it felt like facing the first failure in competitive exams?
Yeah, that was a very big thing.
Okay.
So you couldn't digest it, because you've got like grades in all more than 90 plus. When you see the result that day, I still remember the first night, I was under my pillow, literally in my room. I was weeping. I couldn't clear prelims of UPSC. I've done it well. Okay, I was expecting that we could clear it. But it was a failure. That was the first line. I didn't take that failure as a big thing and I did not quit. So I just learned, okay, we have done something wrong in this. So let's just try something better. So and then I learned it to a bigger stage.
Great. And another question, what made you to, or what motivated you throughout this 7 years of journey?
So this motivation factor, as I told you, one thing is self-confidence. Like I've seen a lot of failures, and to be precise, I've cracked the 50-second examination of my life. So that motivation factor of self-confidence, that you'll know that we've kept something as our idea, we'll try to go on, we are running behind it. One thing which I would like to tell is, in my school days, in my 1st to 5th standard, we do assemble at a place for assembly, daily prayer in the morning. So we would walk through an area in which certain boardings will be kept, in which the words of famous quotes would have been written. One such quote which I remember, and it has kept in my mind always, which has been by Vivekananda, arise, awake, and stop not until your goal is reached. So this is what I would also suggest to the aspirants. Don't stop it. To the fellow guys who are writing more than 2 years, 3 years in the exam, you're very near to it. Do not stop. Just check it yourself, what mistake you're doing, and just analyze it so that you'll reach to the newer goal. And second one which I would tell is friends, the good people which are around, the friends and family who keeps you always motivating, that helps a lot. That always helps you. So just whenever you're down, just make a phone call, speak to a friend, you'll be clear. Go have a good food, just travel. All these things keep motivated in this process.
Awesome. Here the main problem is the distraction. What made you to focus very efficiently?
Distraction, speaking about it, it is very inhumane to not be distracted. So it is obvious, it is humanly to be distracted. So obviously we would go today, we are watching a video, you go to a YouTube, you see a learning lesson, but the very next video come to a next something movie title. You always jump there, here and there. It's very inhuman to be always focused. The one thing which I helped through this journey was to start my day with a mock test. So always start your day with mock test. So it is very hard until you go to that mock test section, log in and go to that test and start the start button. So till that it's a very hard time. And once you give the start button, you don't know when the submit button is going on. 1 hour is completely gone. And this 1 hour has been very efficiently and very focused time. You do not know. So once you submit this test, and personally what happened to me was, always I have a guilt. So once I finish this 1 hour test, I know that I made a mistake in a very known area, in a very strong area to me. So I know, obviously I'll go there, why I've done the simplification some wrong. So go check it out, what calculation mistake I did. So what happens is, after that 1 hour, that analysis which you make will take you through 3 to 4 hours. So that 1 hour of focus of writing your practice mock test will give you help in the next 3 to 4 hours. So through that and it is also an efficient way to learn. So you come across various different topics within 3 to 4 hours. So at that point of time, I'll come to find out, okay, in reasoning in this type of puzzle, I'm not clear. So this area I made a mistake. And nowadays in the test series and all, they show what is the time you took for that particular question. So that helps me a lot. Okay, I've spent a lot of time for this. Because of that, I was not able to attend the other questions. So what happens is, I go and check that particular type of sum in YouTube or any learning materials which I have. So that helped me a lot. But this is not very often, not very strict timing and all. But it takes around within 5 days. I do take 3 to 4 reviews. So that kind helps.
Yes. Now some technical questions to you. Usually the bank aspirants in nowadays say like current affairs were like UPSC standards. So we have the person who is preparing for UPSC in front of us. So the question is the current affairs standards really up to the UPSC level in bank exams nowadays?
Okay. So within my experience of UPSC, of being 4 to 5 years of writing UPSC and banking for this last 1 year.
To be precise, he also cleared UPSC prelims twice. So and also performed very well in UPSC mains. So I think you are the right person to answer this question.
So UPSC kind of thing is always evolving. So the pattern this year which we saw was completely out of context, and a lot of people were telling it was tough. And it is actually tough because the paper is evolving, the length and the breadth of the content is very different. For example, let's take this recent Odisha train accident. So in that train accident, there is a system which is known as Kavach.
So
That Kavach, in UPSC what the question will be is, the depth of the Kavach system, is it okay? And why did this accident happen? What was the fault in that? And what is going to be the future idea to
Like
avoid
case
these
study.
kind of, yeah, this can be in ethics or it can be in prelims, anywhere. It can be anywhere.
Oh, okay.
But in banking exam, the question which we can expect is what is Kavach, when it was launched, or in which system it is used. Kavach is used in railway system.
When
to
was
stop.
it is introduced?
So when was it? So these kind of system. So the only thing is which we have to focus in current affairs is not only the content which we read in the headlines, but also the next 1 or 2 lines in the newspaper or any material. A little depth is required, but not in the level of UPSC. If UPSC is evolving, obviously IBPS is also evolving. So we should try to evolve ourselves with that and try to overcome the competition.
So we
That's
have
what I
to survive of the fittest, no?
Yeah, that's obvious. Within a competitive exam pattern, it's always elimination. Every phase is not a selection, but it is an elimination.
Elimination phase.
So we should always be in a mindset how to overcome this.
I heard that you have a study companion, Arvind, who has also cleared IBPS PO exam. So here the question is, does choosing of a study companion really plays a vital role in your selection?
Yeah, it did play a very nice role because
Sorry to interrupt. Can we just have a study companion first of all? And in what way that study companion helps, or in what way his or her vibe affects your preparation or enhances your preparation? What is the idea about it?
So my idea has been a positive outcome. So I do suggest if you have a study companion, it would be very nice. The vibe part, so I'll explain with my example. So I was very new into banking stream until last May. So he had given already 1 year of attempt and he couldn't crack interview in the last year. So I learned through his failures.
Okay.
So that was very helpful. I was a very new aspirant to this area. So I was very blank about what the examination is going to be, what are the patterns, what are the type of questions. He was very clear with it because he has already given an attempt. His experience was quickly helping me to go through the questions, the patterns. The second one which it was helping was, he is a great motivating factor.
True.
And we both are mutually motivating factors. Every day it is impossible for everybody to go and study and have a routine pattern. So one day I'll be low, he'll be low. When I am low, he helps me to come to that high and to study.
Yes.
That similarly happens. Another thing which was helpful during studies was one topic in which if I do not have an idea, for example, I was very weak in reasoning. So he was very strong in reasoning. Parallelly, it happened to me in quants and for him.
He was.
Yeah, so we helped each other to study and other thing. And very importantly, in the current affairs section. So what happened was, I'm a person who studies daily current affairs. He's a person who studies monthly matters. And I'm a person who studies different material. He's a different material. What happens is, when he finishes 1 month and when I finish 1 month, we ask random questions to each other. So this is when we are getting bored. This doesn't happen as a routine exercise. So this is when we get bored, we ask random questions and we do come across various different topics and we do get a confidence. Okay, we have covered 2 different materials. Let us see this exam.
Okay.
So that kind of confidence comes up. And you can have always, having a companion with you is always a motivating factor and also encouraging.
Kind of teamwork.
Yeah, kind of teamwork helps here in this examination. So I would suggest the aspirants to choose their companion with a matching vibe, so that they both can have a mutually beneficial environment.
So can you share your interview experience? So you have a very peculiar interview experience, so that can help students too.
So actually, in 7 years, this was my first experience in interview.
Yes.
So I was very blank. I did not have an idea. So what I referred was completely on guidely material, the interview material, and interview pattern of Venkatesh sir.
Okay.
So what happened was, when I went, I was like kind of the 22nd member. In each panel there are around 25 members. I was 22nd. I was around waiting from 12:30 to, and it was 5:30 in the evening. And I'm just going in. The panel members were just like sitting here, and they were also obviously exhausted. And the kind of interview which I faced was a kind of stress interview.
Oh, okay.
Whatever questions you ask, they ask a counter question. So after the interview experience, when I came outside, I thought, okay, I'm not going to clear this examination and the government job is not for me. I was literally screaming to my mother on that day in my call.
One more failure.
Yeah, one more failure. I thought it's going to be one more year. Okay, so it was like that. But the materials which I studied through Guidely helped me a lot. The questions were not exactly from them, but the basic. For example, one question was on NPA. They asked me what is NPA. It was direct. And what are the type of stress does it? They asked me. And how do you manage stress of sets? I gave a different answer which was booklish, but they expected a practical answer. But when I tried to answer it, the panel member interrupted in a harsh way, to be honest. Like, it is not the way of, no, we do not do this thing and all. So at that point of time, the way in which we act towards them, the way in which we interact towards them helps a lot. That personality, that helps a lot. So we should tell that, be humble. So yes, sir, I do not know it in a practical life. I'll get an idea when I get an opportunity to it. So that helps a lot over there. But unfortunately, all the 5 members were like this to me. But it was a different experience.
To be precise, have you answered all the questions asked in the interview?
No. A lot of questions. Even the questions which I prepared, I was very stuck. The last question and all, I was very stuck with that question. And they just asked me, what are the different kind of risks? I was very odd at that time and I couldn't answer. I just took a second and told, so I do not remember it. He just said, okay, fine.
No problem.
You may move on. So that kind of panel members do help you and help in sense, like they understand. Because you're in a kind of stressful time and they do understand that this kind of things happens.
Sure.
So even though I was able to score around 75 marks out of, so that is one of the highest scores. So
Great. So you have been appearing for every competitive exam. Say for example, UPSC, SSC, TNPSC, all those exams. Could you rank exams from easier to tougher?
Okay. So first I would rank tougher. From tougher I would rank civil services.
Yes, civil services the first.
Yeah,
place.
first. And second it comes the TNPSC Group 1, Group 2. Then comes the RBI.
The regulatory body.
All the regulatory body examinations. And then comes the SSC. And at last I would keep banking. So a lot of people would ask, since you've cleared it, you would tell it is last. See, as from my experience, while you see all these subjects now, like from UPSC you have 15 to 20 subjects to cover. Same as for TNPSC, leave it for RBI, it's different. And even for SSC, a lot of people find that general studies area to cover. So 25 marks, we'll have to go through 10 different subjects. So that is also tough. But in banking, there are just 4 different areas. And that 4 different areas, it's very, very open to you. The syllabus is open.
Easy to cover.
Yeah, easy to cover. 3 different papers, 1 hour examination. So it's going to be sectional timing. So what I made was a kind of SWOT analysis. So it helped me. First one, I just took a mock test and just saw, okay, these are the areas which we have covered. These are the areas which we are capable of answering. And these are the areas which we need to cover. So I just made a SWOT analysis. Just we saw the area of strength, weakness. And I did it separately for everything. For quants differently, reasoning, English and current affairs. So and then I just started breaking those units. And I fixed just 1 hour time for one different chapter.
Okay.
I just break it into chunks and try to cover those as a small bit.
Small tasks.
But it was not like a continuous flow. So it was also parallel with my mock test and this goes parallelly. And it was kind of holistic mixed up preparation as everybody have.
Fine.
Yeah.
So one last question. Is it okay to shift from one examination to other examination?
Actually, my idea, that was the greatest mistake which I did. I shifted for every different examination. I'd be practicing for UPSC for 6 months or 1 year. Suddenly TNPC comes, I'd be practicing that for 3 months. And this shifting pattern doesn't help you to have a clear idea about what the exam is about.
Okay.
So that doesn't help an aspirant to crack it. So what we should do is focus on one single exam. Like take one goal, right?
I think you're the right person to ask.
Yeah. Take one examination, make it as a goal, just focus it. Okay, what I can do to crack this? So that one focus will help you. I do not suggest you to shift examinations.
Exams. Okay.
If not, you will also be another example like me who is taking 7 years or 9 years.
No problem.
One more thing which I tell to the aspirants is, you study, keep on studying. And even after a lot of years of struggle, the one fine day, you'll be called as an officer.
Exactly.
That day is waiting for you. That seat, that ink in which you're going to sign is going to be waiting for you always. Always stay motivated. All the best.
Thank you so much, Jaswanth. That's a wonderful word from you. So I wish everybody a wonderful year ahead. So all the best for you, everyone. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. See you.